hey there, all you funny jerks, come talk to Dan about your work. Tell him all about your worst times. It's the art of bombing.
Penn State Harrisburg was my biggest bomb. And I still, one day I'm going to go back and burn the school down. That's how bad
You're going to burn the proof. You're like, if I burn the school down, I didn't bomb here.
Yeah, they're going to have to build something over it. It's going to be a hotel or something. But I didn't bomb here. I bombed at the location that used to be here before all this gasoline. But what happened was, so I was on my college tour, and the night before Penn State Harrisburg, I was at William Jefferson College outside of Pittsburgh. And I showed up. It was a small room, and there was like 10 students there, which 10 students in a small room, you can make a show happen there. That's plenty. And the girl who was in charge of that one, she's like, hey, I think like 10 or 20 more people are coming. Can we wait a few more minutes until they show up? And I was like, sure. We waited the 10 minutes. Those people didn't show up, and the people that were there left. So now it's just empty. And then she goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Hands me my check. And she goes, I guess there's no show. And I remember looking at her going, never apologize for this. Like, you just handed me a college, which by the way, colleges pay really well. So she handed me a substantial check. And then I just went back to the Courtyard Marriott and had dinner and drinks. I'm like, this is great. Never apologize for this. So the next day I wake up and drive to Harrisburg for the next college, and I walk into a similar situation. It's like a cafeteria. There's nobody there. They have like a stage off to the side with a projection of a poster of me with my name misspelled. And I walk in and I see the situation. I'm like, this is great. I'm going to get another check and I'm going to leave. This is wonderful. And the girl who was in charge of that show just looks at me and goes, well, we paid you. And I was like, what does that mean? She goes, well, go up there and do comedy. And I'm like, there's nobody here. And she's like, well, there's some students over there. And she pointed like a quarter mile away. There's like,
Jesus.
There's like 3 students in a corner trying to like study. Like, because this cafeteria was big. It was a big ass cafe. And they're like way over there. So I go on stage and I'm begging them to come up to the front. I'm like, please stop following your dreams and like listen to me for an hour. Stop trying to be a doctor or whatever you're trying to be. Come listen to me. And they did. I lied. I said there was going to be a prize at the end. There's no prize. The prize is me leaving with my dignity. Situation. And so anyway, these 3 students come and sit in the front. And it's still horrible, but I'm trying to do comedy. And 15 minutes in, this one student gets up to leave. And as he's like pushing the double doors open, I jokingly, I'm like, I got to say something. So I was like, oh man, you're leaving? Was it the cat jokes? And he just looked at me as he's opening the doors and he goes, I just can't. And then he walked through the doors.
Jesus.
And I still had 45 more minutes to do in front of the 2 students left. I could have left with the piece of my soul. Like, I still have bad dreams about just him opening the doors like a child looking at me going, I just can't. And then him walking out.
Oh my God. Wow. That's brutal.
Penn State Harrisburg.